Hello and welcome. I am the Suit&Tie Dip&ChewGuy, and this is the number 2 review of the Makla playlist. And we will be taking a look at this. This is Silverback Green. Before we get into it though, this will be a shorter review than the first one, but the information about the brand that is in the first one will not be in this video, thus it being shorter. So I will be linking the first video at the end of this in one of the pop-ups. I will also be linking a monetized playlist. One, I'm not sure which one, but that will also pop up. I want to thank those that are watching the monetized content. It is making things a lot easier here. Example, this entire product line and shipping from England was paid by the proceeds from ads. That all said, let's take this over to the desk. This is Silverback Green. Okay, so here we are, and I have that upside down. I apologize. And that is a sticker on a plastic lid. All right. The lid has sort of a coin edge on it, and also on the bottom. It is split basically at the halfway point, although the bottom does go up underneath that. That is quite a bit of a overlap on that, but you'll see that when we open it up. Intense spitless tobacco, green. Intensity, they only have one of 3 marked or filled in with the base color of the background, which is green. That said, and this is very important, this stuff is high nicotine, all right? If you are nicotine sensitive, this is not a product for you. Let me repeat that. This is not a product for anyone that doesn't have higher nicotine tolerances. In fact, the nicotine, even though this one and the last review are their lowest levels, was almost too much for myself. That said, going to the back, you have the American website, which is www.silverbackdip.com. And then moist snuff made by Sifaco Group, Belgium. Almost all Makla products that can be gotten in the West European market and North America come out of Belgium. Originally, this was a type of tobacco used in North Africa. All right. So then you have a barcode, obviously, and then the California warning label, because they seem to be able to work that basically onto anything and everything. Now, this does have warnings going around and on the front too. All right. It's pretty simple packaging. I mean, there's not a lot to say. On the side, it does have underage sale prohibited, sale only allowed in the United States, and then the net weight, which works out to 25 grams. To give you an idea of how much that is, a standard can, regular size can of dip is 32, or wait, let me check that. 34.02 grams, okay? 25 grams, 34 and change. And it is evident when looking at the sizes of the containers, all right? So, on these, you have a pull band, which, you know what, actually, I didn't think I'd like, but it works, and you can see how it's just pulling off, all right? The green, I am having a feeling, is menthol. And when I say menthol, I do not know, because I did not look, But I mean menthol like a menthol cigarette menthol type menthol. 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 Okay, opening it up, and wow, it looks exactly as I expected. So it is reading dead on what it actually looks like. There's a slight more of a brown tinge in person. I haven't smelled anything yet, and that's probably going to be the worst aspect of this. So let me just take this around. Okay, so my theory on regular menthol, like cigarette menthol, may be off there. It does not have the barnyard smell of the last one. That said, it has the mentholated aspect scent-wise of, let's say, an Indian snuff, like nasal snuff from the country India. So it doesn't quite smell as bad, but I'm not sure if that's really saying much because the last one smelled somewhat like manure. So really, it's only up from there, I think. So taking a look at the product, it is in there. It's in there like a hockey puck. Let me put it that way. We will scratch the surface, and it sort of peels off, and it's sticking to the spoon. The moisture level is high in these. That said, it doesn't come off as much. It's not going to come off in your fingers. It's not like a can of Stoker's. The moisture level is high, but that moisture is planning on staying exactly where it is and not deviating onto your hand or anywhere else. So I'm a bit on the fence about how much of this stuff to take, because last time I took too much. Now, as I said before, the idea of this is somewhat like snus. It's spitless, supposedly, and you put it in your upper lip, and you put a very small formed ball. I did not do that last time. I took a small snuff pinch, and that was too much, so I am not sure what. You know what? I'm going to dig up a little bit more, and then so I have options at least. Part of the reason why I want to do less, I want to see how little of this you can do. So I am just going to do that, which is like a 1970s Copenhagen commercial size pinch, and I'm going to put it in my lower lip. And that feels too ridiculously small, so I'm going to do a little more. Basically, I'm doubling the size, which I am going to pay for, I am sure. Okay. And then we are going to go back up top. I may pause for a minute. Oh, wow, that is a lot of mouthfeel right out the gate. Holy crap, that was almost instant. All right, back in a moment. And I am back. So let me make a couple more points or reaffirm in one case before we go any further here. If you do not have higher tolerances to nicotine, do not go here with this. And I have a feeling just don't do Makla, period. Any brand. Okay, they're all going to be high, I believe. I believe that's the thing. If you do it, there is no way someone could talk me into not spitting with this product. Now, putting it up top in the traditional manner would suggest that it would produce less byproduct, less spit. I'm going to be honest. I get so much mouthfeel off this stuff and contact burn. I don't see even putting it up top. Number one, to me, it would feel like it was burning through my gum. But even if I was okay with the discomfort, I don't see it causing less saliva up there. And this stuff is, there's no way I would swallow byproduct from this. Third point, and this is what you want to check the first video about. There's some very mixed messaging on this, okay? So they have www.silverbackdip.com. That is their new website. This is not Dip, okay? This is Makla. It is not Dip, all right? It's sort of a Northwest African snooze offshoot, if anything. It's definitely not Dip. But then underneath that, they do have it listed as moist snuff. Now there, technically speaking, it would fall under moist snuff, but not in the American sense, okay? So it's definitely not Dip. Moist snuff, they may have it by technicality, all right? But again, I would not swallow the byproduct. Now, right now, it spits fairly white early on. Last week, after I got done the review, I did put it in the description part. It was spitting green, like forest green. And there was a lot of it being spit. And it wasn't even floaters or anything. The flavor of this one, because I've made this now into, you know, a larger comment, which I was trying to avoid, it's mentholated, okay? It is not in the way that I thought it might be. It is strong, although it seems like it's coming off a little smoother than the last one. That, or maybe I'm building tolerance. I don't know. This is not a product for me. You know, it's just for something that's smokeless that you put in your mouth. This is just not what I would naturally gravitate to. They're trying to pull part of the U.S. market, and there are selling points for this. You use less, but then the sizes it comes in is significantly less. It is strong. It is loose. All right, it is not in a pouch. But I just don't see them able, and that's why they've made the American website, because they're trying to take part of the dip market. Now, they may only be trying to take 5% or 3% or whatever, but I don't think they're going to be even successful doing that. So this could be a deal that in a couple years from now, this isn't around anymore. And if you are one, like myself, that wants to try everything, even though you may not like it, you may want to get on this now before it's gone. Keep in mind that it is, at this time, mailing from the United Kingdom. It's going to take a couple weeks to get to you. Anyway, yeah, it's mentholated. It seems, due to that mentholation, a little bit smoother, but still really strong. And from here on out, they only get stronger. So God knows what's coming. This has been my review of Silverback Green at their lowest intensity level. I am the Suit&Tie Dip&ChewGuy. I do thank those that have watched this and watched the monetized content. Again, it is important. I do hope you are well. Do take care of yourselves. And as always, God bless.